And we are waiting, or I'm waiting to make sure that I'm live before I start talking. It'd be a big waste of time. I'm still waiting. Okay, it looks like we're about a 10-15 second delay there, so sorry about the weird pause in the beginning. I always like to make sure that these things start because OBS tells me one thing, and then the YouTube live control room tells me something else, and it's hard to get them to sync sometimes. So hello everyone, thank you for dropping by this after hours live stream here on Science Studio. I am glad you're all here watching. If you are clicking here for the giveaway, I don't blame you, really. You're probably wondering what the giveaway even is. It's not something super big, but I figured I would give back to those of you who decided to watch on a Sunday night. I understand that this is usually either a school night or a work night, right? You got stuff to do in the AM, and I get that. So I want to kind of pay it forward a bit to at least one lucky winner. I'm going to give out a $50 Amazon gift card, and all you got to do is answer a simple question like we did 2 weeks ago. So maybe 45 minutes into the live stream, I will ask the question, and then I'll check the chat, and then the first person to answer the question correctly will win the $50 gift card. So I'll just send it to you electronically. You just get it usually via email, I think. And you can spend it on whatever you want, really. I'll stop moving my hands around. I am a little toasty, and I'm toasty because I was at the beach today. You know, living in a city where everyone else goes to your city for spring break, and that's really it. They kind of just like, you know, milk you for all you're worth and then leave again like a week later because that's what spring breakers do. We're in the middle of that right now, so it's very packed at the beach. I live on the beach side here, and it's a racket. It really is. So what I'm gonna do? It says Amazon gift card. I'm out. What's up with that? You don't like free cash, bro? I appreciate that, Hunter. Thank you. I don't know what I do that is so entertaining for you guys. I just try to answer questions. Like, I don't have any format. A lot of people do like a formal thing. You know, they go over news stories and stuff like that. But I just try to be as personal as possible to you guys. I know you guys are just, you know, you love the tech. You love learning stuff. I love learning stuff. That's why I keep doing what I'm doing on the channel. Most of the stuff I talk about, I learned about the day before, which is why I say thanks for learning with us at the end of every stream. And that's kind of why I think that I still have like a heart, like passion for this, for doing this, because it's been tough lately with the algorithms kind of reorganizing preferences. Linus literally gets recommended after every single video of mine, and it's just the way that he plants tags and stuff and links. He'll put links on random websites all over the place so that YouTube prioritizes his videos over everyone else. And you know, he can do that. He's big. So it's really hurting the small channels. We're kind of in the lower end of the middle side, and yeah, I'm sunburned. If you rewind to the live stream a little bit, I talked about it. If you're wondering, what are your thoughts on the Facebook data leak? I mean, I'm not really surprised. I literally just talked about this in a video that was like 2 weeks old. And so if you want to go back and look at that, Facebook does this data collection thing all the time. So I'm not really surprised by the fact that they've been siphoning other data as well, cell phone data in particular. Let's see here. Dual Water Force GTX 1080 Ti for 250 AUD. It's a real deal. I checked by opening CPU cooler. Is it a good deal? I'll let you answer that one, my man. Linus is a marketing genius. Yeah, I mean, really what it comes down to is just, this is something that I was talking with Will about, because Will knows how this stuff works behind the scenes, and he was telling me, he's like, he can track Linus's links and where all the other links to his videos go, and most of those links are, you know, websites that don't do anything. They're just there. But YouTube sees all those links embedded, and they're like, wow, this video is pretty popular, right? So we got to prioritize this thing because it's being shared all over the place. That's how people manipulate the algorithm, and Linus is doing that full force, and you can see it. I mean, after every video of mine that comes up, it's literally a Linus video. It's kind of frustrating, but there's nothing we can do about it because he's already been established that well. He already has that reputation with YouTube. The links on top of that, there's just gravy. So let's see here. Best 370 motherboard for 250. I'm looking at Maximum Heroes versus Gaming 7. I haven't actually tested an Asus board in a while. They're sending 2 boards. They should be here soon. One's an ITX board. The other one's a full-size ATX Z370 board. So I'll be able to talk more about Asus boards in a second. But for the time being, Gigabyte, I mean, the Gaming 7 boards from Gigabyte are always great. I've had the Ryzen AM4 board from them, the Gaming 7 board, And I've also, I think I have the Gaming 7 Z370 board, if I'm not mistaken. They're great boards, great overclockers, and they look pretty sweet too. So as far as I know, Gigabyte's perfectly fine, but I can't really compare them to Asus yet because I haven't had my hands on Asus equivalents. Computer Professor, thank you for your time, Science Studio. I think I shall do it myself. Thank you. I completely missed it. It scrolled too fast. It scrolled too fast. Oh no. Thank you for the time. Thanks for watching, my dude. Here in Romania, we start to see a decrease in GPU prices finally. Yeah, I kind of want to investigate that a little bit. I have a feeling that this is kind of like a premature declaration to an extent. Yes, I mean, graphics card prices are gonna settle back down. They have to. But at the same time, I don't want to jump the gun and be like, okay, they're going to drop next month, or they're going to drop next week or tomorrow. You know, like there's no set in stone date, and it's really all dependent on how the market plays out. The supply and demand curves from an elementary level are going to determine a lot of things, a lot of different prices across the spectrum. But on top of that, I mean, you got to look at what these manufacturers are planning to do in the future, right? With Volta on NVIDIA's side, what AMD is going to do with the Ryzen Plus release, and maybe what they're going to be doing on the Radeon side. It really just comes down to what they foresee, and it's obvious by this point that the manufacturers did not foresee the huge demand in graphics cards, and if they did, then maybe kudos to them for that, because they're shorting the supply and they're able to charge a lot more for them, or at least the AIBs are in particular, but NVIDIA is as well. If they're not out of stock, they're not hurting from this. That's something you got to realize. Just because the graphics card is out of stock temporarily does not mean anything bad. It's actually a good thing in the long run, because it means you have that demand necessary to drive your inventory. So it's really not something that I'm prepared to just say, well, they're going to drop next week, they're going to drop next month. You really never know. There are so many factors at play in that market. You can only really look back in hindsight and say, well, this is why this happened, but things could be a little different this time around. Your thoughts on NVIDIA's release, on the release of NVIDIA's Turing? I have no clue. I don't read I don't look ahead and read leaks and all that stuff for the most part. I don't like talking about them because there's no guarantee that any of that stuff is genuinely true, especially when they start talking performance numbers. Gear Seekers, love the channel, man. Keep making awesome content. I really appreciate that. Thank you for that donation, my dude. And hopefully you stick around. Hopefully I'm not too boring. I'm watching myself in my own live stream. I'm kind of splitting up. I'm hoping you guys aren't seeing that break in the live stream. I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's see here, Matthew. How do I make good content like you, but on a budget? Matthew Aviles asked this. Look, you gotta have an investment up front. I don't recommend starting with with like a cell phone camera, excuse me, because you're gonna automatically predispose yourself to an audience who doesn't care as much about quality. And while that's great, I mean, ultimately the content, like what you're talking about, is going to matter at the end of the day. People do care about presentation. They really do. When I started the channel, I had like a $150 DSLR camera. It was just a point and shoot camera, and I think it shot 1080p 30, but at a horrible bit rate. And my audio was trash. I just nothing was scripted. It really says a lot about your effort and your motivation if you're willing to put more money into it up front and put more effort into the quality of your videos. If you are just gonna say, I don't know, if you're just gonna throw up a cell phone camera and start filming yourself that way, and you're talking about random stuff, it's really hard to get your feet off the ground. And it's always something people ask me, is like, how do you get your channel out there, right? How do you get it to grow so fast? And it really comes down to just those one-hit wonders. Really, you got to have one or two really good videos that people share all over the place, and that's how you get your name out there. And then you start pumping out content that's relatable and that's reliable and consistent, and has that high production value. And there you go. There's your shoe in the door. So be diligent, spend money up front. You have to. I think I would do it that way all over again if I had to. I would sell stuff if I had to invest in YouTube gear, just because I prioritize that above other things in the beginning. It's really difficult to not do that. Enough rambling. Dan, that was a good point. I was so hyped just to get by a 2-3% decrease that I thought I was going to get back prices soon, but how you said it will take time. Yeah, I mean, it will take time. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a gradual decrease in prices. And even then, I mean, I think the used market is going to be even more out of whack because people aren't going to know what to even ask for their graphics cards. And most people who want to pay, you know, $500-600 for a GTX 1070, which is ridiculous, but that's what they're doing, aren't going to know if they should still be paying $500 or $600 for their GPU. You know, like how do they know what the used market's supposed to be like if the people who are selling those cards don't know what they should be selling them for? There's gonna be a lot of hit and miss. The one really good deal will be snatched up really quick, and then it's back to the $500-600 prices for the 1070. You know, it's just an example. It's gonna be pretty crazy everywhere. Let's see. Mr. Wonderful says prefer unique content over video quality. That's cool, Mr. Wonderful, but I guarantee you that if you can't understand half of what the video, you know, what the subject is saying in the video because this audio quality is trash, you're not going to care how good the content is because you won't know what's going on in the video. That's why I'm saying you have to prioritize these things to an extent, because if you don't, then no one's going to be able to, first off, enjoy the content because either your footage is trash or your audio is trash. And then how do you even convey the topics that well if people aren't willing to listen to that horrible, you know, that horrible whine in the background, that hissing noise or whatever you have that's disrupting that optimal production quality that you're looking for. Intel Ops, technically an 8700K can be configured to run like 8600K to bring temps and power draw down. Possible. Okay, I think I read that out of context. Do you think, see, Sebastian asks, do you think later on, like Q3 of 2018, GPU and RAM prices will go down like others are saying? This goes back into, I literally just talked about this, Sebastian. Rewind the live stream like 10 minutes. It's hard to tell. It really is. There's so many market factors at play. It's probably going to be a gradual decrease, and prices will be all over the place when that happens, especially in the used market. If you're just getting here, the giveaway is going to be announced at like the 45-minute mark. We usually do this for just an hour, so I won't do it at the very end. You don't have to stay along for that long of the ride. But I'll be giving the gift card away, $50. You can spend it on whatever you want on Amazon, just for answering a simple question, which we'll get to soon. If you watched 2 weeks ago's live stream, you'll know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Corey says, much love, man. Love your work. You deserve more recognition. I appreciate that. I think we rode that gravy train in the beginning. I think it's harder to get exposed now. It's a lot more difficult, this environment on YouTube. But we're trying. We're sticking around. You know, we're not going to stop. So thanks for doing that. Thanks for sticking around. Let's see. Lewis says, last LCT video was a total audio shit show. Was it really that bad? Which video was that? I kind of want to watch it now. That's not like Linus. That's really strange, unless he did it on purpose. DOTB Fox says, is the Define Mini C good in hot country like Philippines? The Mini C, yeah, I would, if you have like a micro ATX motherboard, or no, Mini C, yeah, the Mini C is the micro ATX version, I believe. The ITX version is the, I don't even know what that ITX version is called. But yeah, if that's the micro ATX version, then it's going to be perfectly fine. Just make sure you get a few fans in there, you know, unless your room's getting to like 35 degrees Celsius, and I think you should probably worry a little bit. But you're not going to have a problem for the most part. Special Agent Chicken, hi, I love the streams. Thank you for that $1.99 donation. Thank you for shorting me 1 penny. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's really funny that like the people on mobile who donate have to be like, they have to scale at 99-cent increments, so you can always tell who donates on mobile, unless you guys are just being trolls on the desktop side and shorting me 1 penny, which is pretty funny, to be honest. Hey, there's RJ Cuthbertson, but he's got Tom's MySpace page in there, or MySpace profile page. He says, wait, hold on, it's hard to see these. All right, why do you think that the Intel Management Engine vulnerabilities that have come out over the past year are being ignored in comparison to the coverage that Spectre and Meltdown got? I don't know about those other vulnerabilities, so I'll have to research those before I make a comment on that. But I think that the Meltdown and Spectre coverage is being, you know, is being showcased as much as it is because this was something that wasn't talked about for a long time. I mean, this came out of nowhere, right? I think that Intel hardware vulnerabilities have been known for a long time. I mean, AMD has these too, but they're not anywhere near the security risks that Meltdown and Spectre were, at least when they were exploited by those people who discovered them in the first place. It's all circumstantial. I will have to do my research on the other things you're talking about. But there's a reason why these two are getting the recognition they are, and it's because they're pretty serious when it, when you get down to it. I gotta ask, why do you plan on traveling to Venus? No, because I see what you did there. You're talking about my first video, aren't you? That's a true fan right there. Common Sense Finance. I appreciate that. I almost want to do that video over again just because it's so cringy to look back and hear that thing. What's your phone, Greg? I have two different phones that I kind of switch between. I have the LG V30 and then I have an iPhone SE because it's really small and still pretty powerful. Let's see. Game or Rally says, hello, I have a question. I'm using an Asus Maximus Hero 5 with i5-8200K running at 4.6 gigahertz with a 1.162 V core and using an AirMaker 8 on idle at 40C, but testing it runs at 85C. Should I get an AIO? I don't know what the AirMaker 8 is. Is that, oh, I gotta look this up. So it sounds like it's something from Cooler Master. Yeah, it is. Okay, AirMaker 8. It's a pretty beefy CPU cooler you got there. And if you're still hitting 85C, you might want to make sure your cooler's mounted properly, and you might want to make sure you're using quality thermal paste because that's a little hot for 4.6 gigahertz. Make sure your cooler's getting adequate airflow from the front of the case or from the top or what have you, whatever your config may be. Where is this live video coming from? It's coming from my office. It's really weird. Weird question, but there you go. Special Agent Chicken shorted me another penny because he feels like doing that. Yeah, I'm gonna mark you down. I'm marking you down. I'm not gonna put you in timeout, of course not. But I'm tempted. I'm tempted to. What are your thoughts on? Whoa! I just scrolled through a bunch of questions. I'm sorry for that. Are pre-builds worth it? I mean, yeah, I think in today's market, I think pre-builds have a value proposition definitely because basically the companies that build pre-builds are buying these things in bulk, all these components. So they'll go to EVGA, for example, and they'll say, hey, we want to order 50 or 100 of your 1070 Ti for the Win 2s. And we want to pay, X amount of dollars for them, which would maybe be a 10 or 20% discount in bulk, right? Because they're buying in bulk. And these deals were usually secured in contracts months ago. So before these prices ramped up, very high. And pre-builds do contribute to the GPU shortage just a tiny, tiny bit. But they do actually buy in bulk like that from from AIB manufacturers and even from NVIDIA directly. So there's an advantage there from that perspective, as in they were able to pay less for them, so they can charge less for them because their margins don't have to be as incrementally high. So that's the value proposition with the pre-builds. But there's only so much that you can work with there because at a certain point, those vendors are gonna have to go back to those companies and say, hey, we need more stock. Oh, well, the price is a little higher now. So it's not like a foolproof system. They just got in at the right time and they have that value proposition now because you can't build for cheaper yourself. That's the only reason why I would ever recommend a pre-build. Straight up, that's the only reason why. Unless you could literally buy one of those for cheaper than if you built it yourself. That's the only reason why I would ever consider a pre-build. Let's see here. ABK9000s, he asks, hey Greg, are you how to basic? What if I was? I mean, really, what if I was? Tony just put Good Noodle in timeout. Good Noodle, I hope that was worth it. I didn't see what you said. I hope it was pretty funny or pretty obscene because timeout's gonna hurt. That's really gotta hurt, doesn't it? I just scrolled through. Wow. Okay. Nashir in all caps asks, should I upgrade to 7700K or 8700K, currently running a 7600K? No, I don't know. I can't answer that question for you. You're not giving me specifics. These vague questions, folks, you've got to be more specific than this. I don't know if you need an 8700K or even a 7700K based on what you're telling me. What are you doing with your system? If you're gaming fine, you're enjoying your frame rate now, why would you want to spend more money, especially on a newer platform like the Coffee Lake platform? You can't ask those kinds of questions because I can't help you with those kinds of questions because they're not specific enough. It's like saying, hey, should I get a car? Well, I mean, yeah, if you need a car, do you need a car? Do you need to drive to work and back, or do you live right next to work? I don't know. It's circumstantial. Let's see here. Greg, I want a, let's see, Grimtech asks, Greg, I want a a 1060 6 gig Strix model, and my friend is telling me to save up for that extra 125 instead of waiting. What do you think I should do? Wait till it goes down to around 300 or no? Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying, should you buy now or wait until the prices drop more? I mean, that's another question I can't really answer for you. If you see utility in the card at its price point right now, buy it. If you think you're going to get your money's worth for it. It's another question I can't answer because I'm not you. I don't know how bad that you need it. So, you know, up to you. Let's see here. We had a couple donations. I want to get to these. Ken, $5 US. My dude, I appreciate that. Air or liquid? Which do you prefer? All right, so this is a good question. I might even answer this in a dedicated video. I don't know if I've actually covered this before in a dedicated video, but I prefer, if you can get a sexy looking air cooler, I prefer air cooling. I do, because you can get those things just as quiet as you can a liquid cooler. And on top of that, there's like zero maintenance unless the fan breaks. And on top of that, it's not gonna, I have a problem with the tubes. I just think that like flex tubing in general is just ugly, and I've never really liked that with AIOs. So that's the one reason why I would prefer air cooling if I could get it for the same price, for the same TDP, and like, you know, the ease of installation is there and whatnot. The Be Quiet Dark Rock Pro 4 that I covered at CES is looking pretty sweet, so check that one out if you're considering air cooling. Let's see here. Mark Gonzalez donated $5, my dude, but you didn't ask a question. I appreciate that, but I encourage you guys, if you want my attention that bad and you want to donate, like even like I don't care, $1, whatever the minimum is. You want my attention, you want to do that, ask a question. I encourage you to, especially if you're willing to throw money at me. I mean, I appreciate that, but I want you guys to ask questions. I really do. Let's see, Cody Salak, $10, my dude. All right, sorry, the mic's here. You guys can see the mic, right? Yeah, there's the mic. All right. He asks, hey, keep making the great content. Thank you for restoring my faith in tech tubers. One question. What are your thoughts on GPP? I think it's more of a cluster than anything else. You know, I've got to be completely honest here. I'm not all that qualified to give my opinions on GPP yet because I really haven't jumped into the topic enough to feel comfortable giving you guys an opinion on it. I've seen, you know, there were some channels out there who really like, you know, this is wrong, they shouldn't do this, this is corporate greed, blah, blah, blah. And then there were other channels that were like, well, you know, we don't know the full story yet, so hold your horses. I'm not going to, you know, say anything, make any statements that are rash or out of context. So I've got to do my research on that really before I can answer the question. I'm sorry that you have to get like a I don't know answer to that question, but it's something I got to look into more before I make a statement on that. I hope at least that you can respect that, and me not wanting to jump gears and tell you something that I don't know enough about yet. So I got to do my research, basically. Let's see. Can you put your glasses on? You're weirding me out. Brandon is asking if I can put my glasses on. Yeah, I mean, I could, but then my contacts with my glasses would really mess things up for me, so I'm probably not going to do that. I could take my contacts out, and then you guys get grossed out, like, he's pulling out his eye, or something weird. I went to the beach, so I had to put contacts in, because I can't see jack without them, or my glasses. Let's see, Newts. I have been gaming on a laptop that is not made for gaming recently. When I do the air from the vents heats up a lot. Is this bad for my laptop, and could anything bad happen if I don't stop? Good question, especially if you just, you buy one, you use it, and you're like, why is this thing getting so hot? This isn't normal, it's not good. There are a couple fail-safes there. Most of the time, the laptop TDP, like the ability for the laptop to dissipate heat from the CPU or from the GPU, will be sufficient for that CPU or GPU's operating frequency. But in the event that it's not, then what will happen usually is the CPU or the GPU, or both, assuming you have both of them will thermal throttle. Let's assume you have just a CPU. So if you have just a CPU, and that CPU is getting up to 90, 92, 93 degrees Celsius, right? Really hot. If that happens, also I'm seeing the buffer. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why that's happening. Hopefully that doesn't stay around that long. All right, so if you see that, then what's going to happen if you pull up like a hardware utility monitor, it'll show you your CPU frequency. Your CPU will thermal throttle, which means that it'll drop its frequency to adjust for that heat output, right? If the cooler in the laptop's not pushing heat away quick enough, and things are getting really hot on the core level, the package level, then the CPU will throttle itself to a lower speed to preserve itself and keep it from overheating and damaging in the long run. So if it's a relatively modern laptop, you know, circa 2010 and up, it's going to have that failsafe built in. I wouldn't worry too much about it unless you start seeing weird artifacts on your screen or something. All right, I'm scrolling down here. Let me see. We got my, oh my, Momen Salah. Thank you for that 99-cent donation. Not sure if you're on mobile or if you just felt like shorting me a penny, but I appreciate it anyway. Thank you. Okay, I'm getting to them, you guys. Ken, $5 donation. Thank you. And Ed TechSource is starting his third water-cooled build, a part 100 video. Oh, I want to say some things right now, but I'm not gonna. Ed gave me crap for building so many custom cooled loops so quickly. He made a comment, quality over quantity, right? But I would pick my own custom loops over his any day. I'm just gonna say that. Call me biased, but I think I got a little better taste in the custom loops than he does, and a little more experience because I've built like 12 since his first one. So, okay, there's my little jab at Ed. He'll probably come back at me on Twitter and say, oh, blah, blah, blah. But we have fun. He's actually a really cool guy. I know him a little bit. Never met him in person, but you know, he's genuine. He's honest, and I can appreciate that. Kenny D asks, Intel or AMD? Kenny, I literally have a video answering that question. It's like literally titled Intel versus AMD. So thank you for your donation, my dude, but I'm going to forward you to that video. It's like, you know, 5 days old at the max, and it will answer that question for you. So check it out. Eric Lewald, thank you for that $4.99 donation. Thank you for shorting me 1 penny. I will put it on your tab. Thank you. Will ray tracing render my Titan XP useless? Ray tracing? I feel like I feel like I should know what that is, but I don't. I'm Ethan. I'm so sorry, Eric. I don't know how to make you feel like you got your money's worth on that question because I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe someone in the chat can tell me, and then I'll be able to answer it. Ethan asked, Greg, why are you so sexy? You know, it's just one of those days. I wake up and I feel sexy as hell, and then some other days I wake up and I'm like, meh, this isn't a video kind of day. So I gotta kind of play it by ear. But you guys know how it is, right? You wake up, you feel awesome, energized, you feel sexy inside. None of the days you're just like, I want to go back to sleep and skip this one. So yeah. Okay, a message was retracted, but I got a $1 donation from somebody. That's really weird. Thank you to whoever that was. Let's see, GDV. Where was that? GDV. All right, here we go. $2 Canadian. Thank you for that. When do you think we'll see next-gen GPUs? I really don't know. I'm expecting sometime after Computex, which will be May, or maybe at Computex. NVIDIA will probably announce something at Computex, and if they don't, they'll announce it a few weeks before. I'm pretty sure that's how it worked last year, so stay tuned. I mean, it's coming soon, and if we don't hear anything soon, then we're just gonna, you know, yell at them until they release something. I think we're due for something else. Scrolling down here, sorry about the weird internet issues. I don't know what's going on. Every now and then my OBS quality rating drops to red, which isn't good. Ken, another $2 donation. Thank you for that. I don't know why you did that. You could have asked a question for that, but thank you. Alexander Pace asks, will you be making a video with McLovin anytime soon? Love your content. Keep up the good work. No, I don't think so. McLovin's working. Everyone asks about McLovin, but he's got his own life. He does his own things. I just had him in when it was convenient, when he wanted to give me some of his time to make a video with me. But that's just, no, that's all I can really tell you. I haven't talked to him, honestly, in a long time. Scrolling down here, scrolling down. Yeah, quit hitting your cat cable. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the internet, but every now and then it is straight up dropping for some reason. I'll have to check. There's probably something on OBS that I messed up before I started the stream. What are your thoughts? Johnny Depp asks, what are your thoughts on the new Fortnite mobile port, Greg? Personally, I think that the best mobile games are PC game ports. What about you? I don't know about Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite. I don't like Fortnite. I think it looks like a cartoon. I play PUBG because I'm a gentleman, right? Gentlemen play PUBG. So I did try out PUBG Mobile, which is what your question should have been, and I thought it was okay. I think it's a little funky. You know, you gotta like aim, and then you gotta fire. So there's always like a delay there, and it's so funny because people are just like staring at each other for seconds before anyone starts firing, just because no one can aim that fast. So maybe they'll come up with like game pads you can sync to your screen, and it'll be a lot better. Matthew asks, do you expect there to be Ryzen 7 APU? Not sure. I really don't know. I have no intel on that. Intel has, or AMD has not told me anything in regards to that, so I can't really answer that question. Let's see. Cody says, thank you for not playing Fortnite. Well, Cody, thank you for agreeing with me. Let's see. Is an 8-core Intel chip coming soon? I have no knowledge on that. If I did, I wouldn't be able to tell you anyway, more than likely, because it'd be under NDA. But I don't have any knowledge of a consumer-grade 8-core chip from Intel coming out anytime soon. So that's all I really got for you. Expect, though, with the fabrication process that architecture shrinking from, what are we at now? Are we at 10 nanometers? 10? I feel like we should be next up 10. Is Coffee Lake 14 or 10? I'm so confused. I'm pretty sure Coffee Lake's still 14, right? Yeah, it is. So the next step I think is 10. If it's not 10, it's 7. They have weird jumps, but that's where it's going. And I feel really stupid for having to Google that, but that is literally, that's me sometimes. So yeah, I think that maybe in the next gen we'll see something like that. I mean, there's definitely a trend now to push more cores in at maybe the compromising frequency along the way, and I'm sure many people would be okay with that. Intel hitting 5 gigahertz, that keeps it above AMD on the gaming side, because games still do prefer maybe a max of 4 to 6 cores at a higher frequency, and that's something that AMD hasn't been able to do yet, but we're gonna hope for that with Ryzen Plus. That's something that Intel might not want to compromise on. So until they can keep that frequency up and pack 2 more cores in and keep the power delivery side of things stable, we might not see that. Mason Chappell says, he donated $2. Thank you for that. Will upgrading from a 1500X to 1700 help in OBS? It certainly would. If your CPU usage is around 60 to 80% with your 1500X, then jumping to a 1700, which literally comes with twice as many cores and twice as many threads in that CPU than with the 1500, you're going to see a huge drop in CPU usage, which will benefit you greatly for streaming. I would still say that, I mean, the 1500X is decent for streaming, but if like I said, your CPU usage is peaking, then it's time for an upgrade. That's what I would do. It keep it simple. Kryptonic E34. I think I said that right. Thank you for that $5 donation, my dude. I'm currently running an R5 1600 with a GTX 1080 on a B350 motherboard. Do you think I should upgrade my CPU to get the most out of my 1080? Okay, so this is a tricky one. It depends on the title. It really does. But I'm gonna say, and I've said this in a video before, the R5 1600 paired with the GTX 1070 is one of the best combos you can currently buy. It really is. And if you want to drop to something a bit lower than that, if you want to throw a 1060 in there or an RX 580, then maybe a Ryzen 5 1400 is going to be a good combo with something like that. But you could still go with R5 16 and have plenty of CPU leadway there. So with a 1080, I think you're still fine with an R5 1600. I really do. Many people will probably disagree with me on this, but I don't see the added value in upgrading from a frame rate standpoint based on the games that I've tested. Because for the most part, they're not going to utilize the extra cores that Ryzen 7 offers anyway, unless you're doing a lot of heavy multitasking in the background. No, excuse me, I'm scrolling down here. Let's see. Michael J. Is almost $3,000 on a MacBook worth it for a fully spec'd 15-inch upgrading from a low-end 2015 model for programming and network administration? Oh, this one's tough. This really is tough. Probably more a question for Will than me. I don't do that kind of stuff on my MacBook, so I wouldn't really know. But I can tell you that the true quad-core models of the MacBooks are leaps and bounds more powerful than the one that I have. The one I have is still like that dual-core i5. Even the i7 is a dual core, and at least until they got to Coffee Lake, and I think they started throwing true quad cores in there, ultra low power quad cores, but still massively better. But because Apple is always a generation behind with CPUs being thrown into their newest MacBooks, unless you're willing to wait a year or two, go with the MacBook Pro that has at least, you know, the 15-inch models always have the true quad cores. So go with that one for sure. I don't know if spending $3,000 on one is justified, but MacBook Pro 15-inch is what I would do if you want to stick with Mac. All right, scrolling down here. Kobe Waters asks, "Hey, do you do the classifieds judging? Mind if I send you mine and have you judge its value?" Kobe, sure thing. If you want to send it though, don't send it to my email because then I'm gonna get a bunch of random stuff from random people. I prefer you guys not to waste my time or yours. That's more or less for business stuff. But if you have that link, click. I don't know how we're gonna do this here. Try to send it in the chat. I'll look for it, and it's gonna probably be blocked or something, but I'll just enable it, and then I'll be able to click on it and I can judge it live for you if you'd like that. Scrolling down here. Fortnite, Fico says, "I hate Fortnite, that's for sure." I'm loving that you guys hate Fortnite. I love you guys for that. Let's see. Bojangles, "Fortnite better than PUBG, don't at me." Bo, I will argue with you to the moon and back about this one. I must confess, I haven't played it myself. Here's what I have done though. I've watched Lisa play it. Lisa's my fiance. I watched her play it and I thought it was the dumbest looking thing ever. So you can hate me. I'm sorry. I just don't think it looks all that appealing. It looks like a cartoon version of PUBG and I just don't prefer that. So it's a preferential thing really. Let's see, scrolling down here, scrolling down, I see Angry Guy asks, "Which fan do you recommend for silence and good performance?" Kind of like a middle ground. It depends on how much you want to spend. I always go with Be Quiet Silent Wings 3 fans. I think they look great, and they're really quiet. So if you want a quiet fan that's not going to really break the bank, but at the same time is going to do what you want it to do for a decent premium, Silent Wings 3 is the way to go in my book. Let's see, scrolling down. "Are you going to do a Deep Cool Quadzilla build?" I wasn't planning on doing it. Will's going to do it eventually, but I have the Quad Stellar, and I kind of reviewed it. I just didn't build in it. So we're still waiting to put that video together. I feel like that case demands like the most expensive and insane hardware, and we just don't have it on hand yet. So I'm kind of waiting to get that stuff together. And it's hard to get GPUs right now from any vendor because of the current state of graphics cards. Scrolling down here, Mark Gonzalez, and a $5 donation. Thank you, my dude. "Any news on the new Inwin 011 Air case?" Oh, you mean Lian Li. That's a Lian Li case, not Inwin, but I understand your confusion. And yes, Intel is coming out with the i9 9700 8-core soon. I read it last week. Be careful where you read that, Mark. I mean, it's easy for any website to just say shit like that and to have people kind of be behind it, like, yeah, finally 8 cores, but not actually thinking about the rationale behind it. So, I mean, you might be right, but there's nothing official released yet, so don't take that, you know, as fact. Take it with a grain of salt. And as for the Lian Li 011 Air case, yes, they are sending one very soon. I do think it's under NDA though. Maybe, I mean, it's not under NDA, but I can't release the video until a certain date. So I can't really tell you too much about it apart from what you saw at our CES coverage in Vegas. But I will be receiving not the 011 Air, but the 011 Dynamic with the tempered glass. I think that one looks better. I'm not too concerned about airflow. I just want things to look really pretty in my case. So that's why I'm going with the Dynamic. So stay tuned. It'll be here like, well, the next few days, to be honest with you. And it's white, which is not what you guys saw at CES. So should be pretty cool. Can't wait to build a white theme build in it. You guys know how I do. Let's see. Regor Riziek, Greg, how much performance loss, if any, is 4 sticks of RAM versus 2 sticks of RAM in Ryzen platform, assuming both have the same total gigabyte of RAM? I haven't really tested this, to be honest with you. Ryzen does benefit from a higher frequency, but not, you know, anything super substantial. The way it works typically is I have a video talking about this without going into too much detail. RAM speed affects the Infinity Fabric communication lines between CCXs, and the CCXs are core clusters inside Ryzen chips. So if those cores can communicate faster, which is linked directly to memory speed, then in theory those chips can execute tasks faster. And that would increase frame rate, right? Because the CPU can respond to more draws from the graphics card. In a nutshell, that's what happens when you have faster RAM. So I would say it really depends on how incrementally lower your RAM frequency drops as a result of going with 4 DIMMs versus 2. So if you're going with 2 DIMMs and you're at like 3200 megahertz, which is really good for Ryzen, and then if you throw in another 2 DIMMs and you have to drop that frequency to like 2800, you're not going to see too big a difference. I mean, you're really not. I would say you start seeing a really big difference at around 1600 megahertz, 1800 megahertz, 2100 megahertz. That's where you see the biggest drops, is when you go from like 3000 megahertz down to 2000 megahertz. But from 3000 to 2800 to 2666, most of the time you're not going to notice too big a difference, maybe 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5% difference overall. And if you're going to pay a big premium to get the 2 gig kit or the 2 DIMM kit, then don't worry about it. All right, scrolling down here. We go. I gotta catch up to the moderns. Let's see. Would you ever try riding a motorcycle, dirt bikes in particular? I've ridden bikes before. My friend had a small little crotch rocket I rode. Things scared the heck out of me. One of my other friends back in high school, his dad had a chopper, a Harley, and I rode that one, and I actually like rode it, and we were just up and down his neighborhood. I like it, but I think that the danger involved, I mean, there's too many idiot drivers out there. My dad's always preached against me getting a motorcycle because he just doesn't trust other drivers. And especially in like this city, people drive like idiots here, like complete morons. So it's not that I don't trust myself on a bike, or not that I don't trust bikes in general. I just think that in some cases they're not worth the added fun. And just kind of how I see it. Let's see. Caboose Banana asks, do you take video ideas? Yes, I do. Of course I do. Free ideas, I'll take them. If so, I think it would be cool for you to take 4 or 5 CPU cores and put them on an electric stove to see if you can keep it cool. All right, moving on then. Play PUBG with Linus, please. I totally would if you would add me, dang it. I have, whoa, I gotta scroll up. Slim Jim says, they drive like idiots everywhere. Trust me, you haven't seen idiots until you come to Panama City on spring break, okay? Which is where I am. It's the current time. There's no worse place to be than on a road in Panama City during spring break. At least in bigger cities where there's just traffic jams galore, people are aggressive but good at driving, right? But here, half of them are drunk, and if they're not drunk, they might as well be because they don't know what the heck they're doing on the road, and that is how people die, frankly. So that's just how I see it. All right. So what's your favorite case right now, Douglas? I have a video literally answering that question exactly how you worded it. So look that up. Alpha, sounds like you live in every city. I'm a CDL driver, and I'm glad I can be more aware, but so many pickups and cars. Myrtle Beach has so many idiots. Spring break is crazy AF. Yeah, trust me, you guys. I mean, unless you live in a spring break town, you just don't know. College kids go crazy, and half of them forget how to pass a DMV test. Scrolling down, cheers from Sugar Hill, Georgia. Thanks, Jorge Morales. Ron, college question. How do you suggest an SE major applying for college make up for lower grades? You can retake the classes. I'm sure you don't want to hear that, but most of the time they'll let you retake them. You can boost your GPA that way, or you can take a bunch of basket weaving classes and boost your GPA that way. Gonna take more time, gonna cost more money, yeah, but you might end up at the end of the 4 years or 3 years or however long it takes you to get out of college with a higher GPA. Now, if the company really looked in and saw that you were getting A's in a bunch of basket weaving and like underwater cycling classes, then they might look at just your major GPA, which is why that exists. But if you're interested in just boosting your overall GPA in college, take classes that are still applicable but a little easier, that you can that don't take a lot of your time away from your main studies, and that could be a good way to boost your GPA. Do they have a turn signal problem? Just curious. That's one of the many issues they have. Many of them just swerve lane to lane. They don't even use turn signals. Boy Pizza Plays asks, can you make a budget PC for like $300? Yeah, I mean, I can. I might try to do that soon on eBay. Just like go crazy and just buy some really cheap stuff that I can put. Maybe like a. I don't really know yet. I don't want to. The reason why I used Ryzen 3 in my $500-ish build a couple days ago is because I want modern CPU tech. I want the modern features offered on modern motherboards. And that's something I wasn't willing to compromise on that build. But when you go for something as low as $300, then you're going to jump into like, you know, Haswell, Ivy Bridge, maybe Bulldozer pile driver stuff on AMD side, which a lot of people are like, oh, not a chance, not going back to that. So there are definitely going to be a lot of serious compromises in a $300 build, and I hate it when people are like, well, you could have done this for $300, you could have done this for $300. It's like, okay, well then do it, you know, do it and show me your frame rates, and then we'll talk. If you put something together that you think is much better, then do that, and we'll literally just compare frame rates. I will be happy to admit that I'm wrong if you guys find a better way to configure something. And in fact, I'll make a dedicated video on it and be like, hey guys, don't do what I did, do what this guy did. Here are the links down below. Build your own PC like this one if you want to spend $300. You know, I'm perfectly fine with doing that. But if you are interested in doing something like that, then maybe we could do like a collab. We could have like 2 or 3 people build PCs for $300, like a competition. You know, sounds a lot like Scrapyard Wars, and just see which one comes out on top from a value standpoint. That would be pretty cool. I would be totally down with doing Scrapyard Wars, but I really don't think that there's any chance we're going to be asked anytime soon. I don't even know if I would be that great at it. I feel like I would be so like just in my head confident, and then I would get there and I would just be stomped by whoever my competition was. And that would be the end of it. So yeah, Tobias, I feel like I always mispronounce his name. However you say it. I'm sorry for butchering that name. He asked, where are the car videos? Where are the cars? Where are the cars, Greg? Cars are in the garage right now. I'm actually looking to sell my S5 very soon. There's a guy interested. He might be driving in from New Orleans who may be picking it up soon. And then from there, I'm moving on to something else, something probably a little newer. That'll be better on gas. That's really the reason why I'm getting rid of the S5. It's just so bad on gas that I might be moving on. Let's see. Daniel E. Greg, yes. Scrapyard Wars. Hello from Greece. Fotis K. What's going on, my dude? Thanks for watching. What time is it in Greece right now? Is it like 6 a.m., 7 a.m.? Kudos to you for watching, my dude. Thank you. All right, let's see. RJ says, I play for $300. I would too. So if you want to call me on that, let's do it. Send me an email. I liked that Audi. It's a good Audi. It really is. It's a really nice car. For what I paid like 20 grand for it. Like, that's a dirt cheap price for how good that car looks. People look at it all the time like, wow, what is that? It sounds really good. And it's because it's got a $5,000 exhaust on it. That was the one thing I kind of splurged on. But Army-Trix helped us out with that in exchange for showcases. And you guys saw those videos. But apart from that, I mean, I think just the chassis overall, the frame, the body looks really good. And it's got the genuine V8 in it, which I'm still glad I went with at the end of the day. I could have gone with a 3.0T and just EC flashed the thing and got 450 horsepower out of it. But I prefer the growl of V8. I really do. Hello from Linesville, Pennsylvania. What's up, my dude? We got hi from Philippines, 11 a.m. here. Awesome. Thank you for watching. Wilterotot. I think I said that right. Let's see. Scrolling down here. Are you burned? Your skin looks red. Is it warm in the US? Yeah, I got toasted today. I talked about this earlier in the live stream. Just rewind and then come back to live. It was in the beginning when I talked about it. Christmas lights. Yeah, I've had these things plugged in for three months now. Yeah. Looking into purchasing a Taichi X370 motherboard and Ryzen 7 1700. Is it worth it? It's Beta 5 Shark. I can't answer that question for you. I don't know what's worth it to you. I said this earlier. I can't tell you guys what's worth it to you or not because I'm not you. I don't know your circumstances. It's kind of like a pet peeve at this point. Like, I can't tell you what it is worth to you because I'm not you. You see what I'm getting at here? But thank you for your question. Don't worry, I'm not mad. I've probably said that 3 or 4 times already in this live stream. Mark and Puff, good to see you back, Mark. We have a $1.99 donation. Greg, should I wait for Cyrix come back? Wait, what? I feel like I should know what that is too. Cyrix comeback? I'm literally drawing a blank. You're gonna have to remind me, Mark. Don't donate again. I'll look for you in the comments. I just feel like I should know this, and I don't. Let's see. MRX Kick says, liked your response to Jay's minor post on Twitter. While of course we all would like for graphics card prices to go back down, I feel as if a lot of complaining falls down to selfishness from people. I'm gonna just refrain from commenting anything else apart from what I did in my tweet to Jay. And I'm gonna save that for a dedicated video. I've already decided I'm just gonna do a video on this because I feel like, you know, I can't say anything else. I'm just saving it for a video. Stay tuned for that video coming out very soon. I'm gonna film it tomorrow. Have it up Tuesday. We upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and usually a weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and then we live stream on Sunday nights. In case you are not aware of that, I'm gonna save my response, my official response to Jay, for a separate video. Scrolling down here. One Man Riot says, you are a complete fake. Total, all caps. You know that. Total sellout. You should be ashamed of yourself. You know, I always feel like exposing these guys because they never come up with, like, substance. They just say you're fake, and then they don't talk about why you're fake. So I don't know. You guys can handle that. It's a joke. I know, but Mark, I don't know what the joke is. I feel like I'm out of the loop, bro. You need to, like, fill me in. Oh! I had no idea that was a CPU. I really didn't. I had no clue. Is it a CPU? Are you guys trolling me? I don't know. I don't know those names. I was never PC gaming way back then, so I wouldn't know. Let's see. Matthew says, can I join in on that $300 PC build video? I got a hella lit homemade system made from new and used parts. All right, man. All right. If you can prove that you paid 300 or so bucks for it, then send me an email, and I might throw you into the video, and I'll see if I can beat you guys. We might even do a benchmarking guide of sorts, see if we can compare our systems on a gaming performance level, which I'm sure people would enjoy. Let's see, what am I doing? Oh, Kobe, I see it, Kobe. KSL.com. All right, copy. I got you. I told Kobe to send me this. He wants me to rate his ad. Kobe, that ad is not working. That link doesn't work unless it's not KSL.com. I got KSL.com /classifieds /listing. It's saying that there is no page found for that, so maybe try again. Can you do a giveaway? I'm trying to play PUBG without headphones and it's impossible. Okay, all right, we're gonna do the giveaway. I told you guys to do it at the 45-minute mark. It's been an hour, sorry about that. All right, here we go too. We are going to do another question and answer game. You guys are gonna have to answer a very simple question. What's up, Bob Flanders? Thank you for that $2 donation. I see you. Thanks for dropping in the live stream again. Very simple question. Okay, not a simple question. You might have to research this or look it up, but it's going to be, you know, an exact answer. There's only one correct answer for this. All right. So I'm going to quickly find out something. Let's see. I'm looking up the question right now. Oh yeah, this is good. Okay, this is good. All right. Specifications. Okay. I'm gonna feel really stupid if this isn't right. Let's see here. I gotta make sure that I have the right answer here. Yep. Okay, that is. Stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned. All right. Here's the question. You guys ready for this? You ready for this? I got the question right here for you. You guys are waiting for it, aren't you? All right, here it is, here it is. At what frequency does the AMD Phenom 9550 operate out of the box? Boom, there's your question. I'm waiting. waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting, 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 I'm waiting, 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 I'm waiting, I'm waiting. There's so many random numbers in here. There it is. Uh-oh, I see it. Jad Aris. I hope I said that right. Jadariss. 2200 megahertz was the correct answer. You could have said 2.2 gigahertz. You are correct, my friend. So here's what I want you to do. If you have a Facebook profile, message the Science Studio page on Facebook. We'll confirm your identity there. I have you pulled up on YouTube now, so don't worry about our side of things. I have your channel right here, so I'll be able to confirm your identity. But thank you for participating, all of you. I will be sure, Jad, that we get you your $50 Amazon gift card. Folks, I'm very sorry if you didn't get to it in time. I'm sure a lot of this has to do with, if you're watching live, if your network's great. I don't really know how else to do this fairly without, just randomly doing it. So I'm glad you guys all felt like chiming in. Thank you for that. We're still getting answers, and most of you guys are right. So congratulations. And I'll be sure to send Jad his moolah. Mark, you said 22. I saw Mark said 22, but you didn't specify what 22 was. You were really close, but 22 what? You could, if you had said 2.2, that still wouldn't have been correct because you didn't specify what units. I'm looking for units there. So, yeah. By the way, Jad, if you don't have Facebook, just email me. We'll confirm your identity there. Our email is in our channel description if you wanted to do that. Okay, here. Phenom 9. Oh, you heard 955? Oh, no. I'm pretty sure I said 9550. I'm pretty sure I said 9550, but if I didn't, I'm sorry. We'll be doing this every week. We'll try to do some kind of giveaway to keep you guys on your toes. I am sorry for the miscommunication if that ever happened. Skylar Wallace, a $5 donation, my dude. Thank you. Glad that you upgraded from the Blue Yeti. Do you plan on ever upgrading again? Skylar, I don't know if you're referring to like really old. Like I haven't used the Blue Yeti in a year or so. But yeah, it was a noticeable upgrade only because the Blue Yeti had an issue. Like that Blue Yeti in particular was hissing really bad. And the other Blue Yeti that I used like 3 or 4 live streams ago, that was hissing for a totally different reason. I didn't have things set up in OBS correctly, and that was why we were hearing some really bad feedback, that hissing noise you're talking about. But Blue Yetis in general are actually really good. They're not going to be hissing. Even if you use the USB interface Yeti, it's still fine. It was just user error at that point. So 2.44 engine, one man right. That was good. That was good. Okay, here we go. Hold on. I'm seeing Green, give me a link to that vid, please. Who's on a budget? Photons or light? What are you guys talking about? Back me, guys, and check yourself. I said 2.44 engine, which is technically right. AMD 940 Phenom 2 for the win. I am still using OBS. Little Juice Box, or Slim Jim, sorry. Yes, I am. Little Juice Box asked, he says, I have a gaming laptop that I use on the go. Is an i5 7300 HQ safe at 60 to 80 degrees at full use? Perfectly fine, my dude. It's perfectly fine. It will thermal throttle, I'm pretty sure, if you get in some uncharted thermal territory. Let's see here. Jad messaged me on Facebook. All right, Jad, I see you. I will respond to you very soon, and I'll email you your gift card for Amazon. Gift cards are great because it doesn't matter where you live in the world. I can send you one of those as long as you can buy stuff on Amazon. And if not, I'll just PayPal you or something. All right. Scrolling down. Johnny Depp keeps saying he says 2.2 gigahertz before he said 2200. If you could take a look. I can't even scroll up that high, to be honest, my dude. I really can't. The first one I saw was Jad's, so I'm gonna stick with Jad. I don't mean to offend you or upset you. Scrolling here. Greg, could you look at chat? He keeps saying that. I'm sorry. Sorry, Johnny. It's too late. I saw what I saw, and I saw Jed's answer first. I don't know what to tell you. Coalition Gaming. What's up, dude? Hey, Greg, how goes it? Keep up the good work. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that. I will see you in the Discord server, my dude. Let's see. Yeah, I need a collab with Brian. I really do. Brian's the used PC guy. He really is. He's the go-to for anything budget, and he's got a knack for finding the deals. So I want to do something with him soon. He's a really cool dude, really down to earth, and just upfront with you. So I want to do something with him. It's gonna be hard to do it because he lives in Australia. I live here, but maybe we can do something like U.S. versus Australia, used PC hunting or something along those lines. That would be pretty sweet. All right. Let's see. I'm using a Radeon R7 240 and i3 6100. Help. What do you want help with? How's it going, Greg? Andrew Dakunha. What's up, dude? Let's see. I am scrolling. I have a system that has a 1080 Ti and an i5 7600K. Is it worth the upgrade to an i7 Jackson, can't answer this. I don't know if it's worth it to you because I'm not you. What do you see as worth it to you? What are you looking for? What's your target frame rate? What's your anything? These vague questions I can't answer for you. I really can't, folks. So you're not really doing either of us any good by keeping your questions vague like this. I saw another one. Flamebird Phoenix. Okay. Will you do a productivity build, please? Really, any of my builds are productivity builds. The one that I did, the custom loop build, Flamebird, I did that like 2 weeks ago. It's a custom loop build with an i9 in it and a GTX 1070, which is all you need for productivity. And I put that build together. It was literally for streaming. I'm using it right now to stream. You guys can check it out if you want. See, there she is, looking all fine and dandy. That is that's the productivity build. I mean, whatever you want to call it, they do the same thing. You can use a gaming build for a productivity build. Greg, what's your opinion on the state of tech channels that seem to lose their integrity when they hit the 500K plus mark? I can't really speak to that. I mean, I haven't hit the 500K plus mark, so I don't know what I would be exposed to that would compromise my integrity. Not sure. So maybe I'll get back to you when we hit 500,000. Call it a deal. Master H. Wilson, AT 2035 versus 2020. I don't know. I've never used 2020, but it's really popular. The 2035 was kind of a revision of that. I have the 2035. I think it's great. But to be honest with you, I'm using these Behringer B2s. These are pretty sweet. They really are for the price. I think we paid like $150 for this thing, the B2 Pro, which is a really good deal. Lights Music hooked us up. If you live near Panama City, Florida, Lights Music is the place to go for all your audio needs. They didn't pay me to say that. I just really like how cool those dudes are. I've always bought my guitars and stuff from them, and that's where we went for these, and they gave us a pretty sweet deal. Let's see, MRX Kick. Yo, Greg, what do you think of NVIDIA's new ray tracing technology? I don't know. Haven't looked into it yet. I gotta do that. That's a pretty beefy topic to jump into, so it's gonna take some time. Homer has a hatch. How's the apartment life treating ya? It's treating me well. The only thing I really hate about this place, apart from how expensive rent is the paper thin walls. These walls are so thin, you could hear someone snoring in the apartment next to you. And he's not snoring very loud, because I've heard things go on that are much louder than snoring in that bedroom. Stuff you guys don't want to hear unless you're really weird, and yeah, unless you're really weird. Anyway, you get where I'm going with that. They're just so thin and you have literally no privacy. Great stream. Just wanted to spread the good word of the Right to Repair Act, which has been passed in 18 states so far, and all the attention helps small businesses like myself. Andre Avishin? I don't know what that is in reference to. I don't know anything about that, but hopefully all is well with your business. Sal, have you heard the band Greta Van Fleet? They sound like Led Zeppelin. Spot on. Really? I have to check them out then. I've never heard of that band, but anything with Van in it, it's going to sound pretty sweet, right? We have a couple more questions here, and I'm going to call it a day. Big Thumbs Up Gaming says, Greg, how do you feel about the quality of Behringer? I sometimes look at their stuff. I'm using it right now, so, it's live. I can control everything on my Yamaha soundboard, but you're hearing it right now. I can get really close to it. You guys can hear how clear the voice sounds live. If you're satisfied with this, then this is something you should probably consider. And the Pro, by the way, has several built-in presets. So if you want this, I recommend this. The AT2035 is kind of a premium product just because it's Audio Technica, but Behringer is still really good. So if you can find a cheap Behringer, get one. You won't be. I have the B1 too, and the B1 is still fine. It sounds almost the same as the B2. All right, thank you to everyone that helped me out. I feel like I'm stressing for no reason. Nissy, let's see. Yeah, Homer, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get into a house after my lease is up in like early November, and I'm gonna just buy a house. I'm just gonna bite the bullet and do it. I need to do it soon. Nice shiny teeth. Thumbs up for that. Yeah, I think they only look shiny because my face is burned. I was at the beach today, so it's probably why. But thank you anyway. Okay, one more question. One more question. If you have a serious and intense and thoughtful question, ask it right now. I'll wait 20 seconds for you guys to hear this, and then I'll start reading all your responses and going through the ones that I think are the most valid for the last question in today's live stream. And if you don't get your question answered this week, don't worry. I'll be here next week, same time. I try to be here at the same time every weekend, or every first of the week? Is Sunday the first of the week or the last? Whatever. First of the week, Sunday night live streams, Science Studio after hours. So ask your question. I'm seeing it. These are looking good. These are looking good. Okay, I see it. I see the question I want to answer. It's from Boy Pizza Plays. He asks, do you like Gordon Ramsay? My answer to that question is yes, I do. Now, I'm going to end this live stream by giving a shout out to my good friend Tony, wrong side, yeah. Tony from Virility PC Customs. He's been the moderator today. I think he's the only moderator in the chat, and he stuck around the entire time listening to me just talk about random stuff, answering questions, and the dude is he's just a really good friend. I hope to see him for the Intel Line Fest in St. Louis this year. He and I actually met online. He sent me an email one time and was like, hey man, you want to come to St. Louis and help us out with the Intel Line Fest here? And it's just something we're trying to get going and trying to get to a bigger thing, right? They want the publicity, and it's actually a really big event. It's a really cool event. If you live anywhere near St. Louis, you should attend theirs. You won't be disappointed, and hopefully I can be there again this year. I think it's mid-April if I'm not mistaken. So Tony, thank you for helping me out today. I'll send you a text after this, and we can talk the good stuff. So check out Virility PC Customs if you haven't already. That's Tony's channel. The dude knows how to build premium looking PCs. You won't be disappointed with his work or his information. Yes, Virility Gordon Evans, Virility is here. He is here in the chat. He is a moderator, and I am proud and honored to call him a good friend of mine. And we share ideas all the time. I go to him a lot when I have questions regarding custom loops because he knows what he's doing. He really does. Thanks for the $1 donation, SBT420. I'm not going to say the words, but you know who I'm talking to. That is all I'm going to say for this live stream. I'm kind of wiped out. My throat is sore. And I got to get to work on tomorrow's video. Again, sorry for the random pauses and the drops in the stream. I'll check that out and make sure that doesn't happen again next week. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in Tuesday's video. This is Science Studio After Hours. Thanks for I don't know, I'm just gonna end the chat, and I'm gonna end the live stream. This is really awkward now.